Arizona. I live up here now. I've been here a year, and this is the most fascinating job I've ever had. And I've worked at Chuck E. Cheese. But anyway, we're Alaska and Carson.
I'm from Alaska too, but we now live out here in Dayton.
Excellent. Where are you guys from?
Vegas.
Vegas. There we go. Well, I always start off here in this little corner here. I want to show you where this was taken. When we get on the third floor, there's a little girl's face right here. Her braids, she's got puffy sleeves. There's a teddy bear looking down. And a dog shape. On my other phone and my purse, I'll show you a picture of a dog ghost. I've had psychics tell me that whenever she appears, her dog is with her. I'll show you right where this was taken. There was a horrible explosion. That was documented. The little girl was killed here. So we call that Miss Ellie because we think that was documented the name. We don't really know subjectively if that's her, but we think it is. Now on our spiral staircase on the inside of this wall, there is a blue mist that appears a lot. Sometimes it appears in other places, but it goes very fast, like a ribbon on a stick. And a lot of people think it's this here right here, the blue lady. This was taken by bats in the Gulf. If you look, there's her nose, the back of her hair, the back of her dress, and her toes. Now there was a psychic here in the 1960s. This story's been going for a long time. That she was a prostitute named Lena, and her she got her throat slit, and then the story's bifurcated into by the man she was with, or the wife of the man she was with. But 2 times since I've been here, I've had psychics on my tour, and here's the thing: tell if you've got a real one or not. We get a lot of paranormal posers. That's one of my favorite words to say around here. And they're like, usually have like under breath. They're like, yeah, no. They're very annoying. The real psychics tend to stand back. They look kind of nervous while I'm up. And most people are nervous, but I'm always, are you okay? And they're like, it's just that I can see things. 2 different ladies at different times. One's from Vegas. She gave me a card. She said that is not a prostitute. That was the daughter of a miner. Her father had just bought her a blue dress, and another miner liked her, and he raped her, and she didn't like him. He raped her and killed her with a pickaxe to the head. Somewhere down here. And sometimes people get headaches around here, so pay attention to all of your intuition feelings, like anything you might smell when we're upstairs, perfume, very strong, it's floral, let us know if you smell that, or cigar smoke, and I'll tell you more about them upstairs. Alright, there's this, and if you take a lot of photographs, you might get an orb, almost guaranteed you might get an orb. Well, if you get a full body apparition, upload it to our Facebook. Alright, come over.
7 portals believed to be located, and also George Winfield threw Elizabeth's baby down the mine shaft.
Now, here's a perfect example of why we want you to take as many pictures as you can.
Tell the rest.
This lady's, and also, I have to give you a list of things that cameras do just on my hourly daytime tours. They won't work when you want them to. They'll work when you don't mean for them to. They'll go off in your hands. And that's what happened to this lady. As she was leaving, her phone went off. And when she got home, she freaked out because she goes, there was no ladies in the room, much less dressed like saloon girls. And I can't reach from here. They got this thing in my way. If you look at that guy's elbow in the reflection, she should be standing right there. What's in here? This is new. Explosives. Oh, there we go. Well, look at here. I double dog dare you to open this right now. Come on, my Alaska man. Are you guys natives? Native Americans? That's a mummified cat. I don't see cat balls over here. Alright. Most photographed dead cat in Virginia City. He was actually, at first I heard that he was found in the walls, but I talked to the owner. There used to be a macabre museum down here. It was one of the leftovers. And this is new. I'm excited to go upstairs because the owner, well, there's ghost explosives in there. And the new owner has brought some more antiques upstairs. Oh, cool. In fact, yesterday was Mother's Day and we got a child's coffin. Oh. But that's actually in the members room right now. Follow me into the whiskey cellar. And welcome to the Washoe Club. This building was built in 1862. We are actually below ground right now. B Street is up there. Now, in 1875, there was a big fire that burnt 80% of the town. We were one of the ones that survived. And Millionaires had a club down by Piper's Opera House, and when their club burnt down, they took over the second floor here, and they were there for 20 years. This mining district, when it was a boom town, lasted for 20 years, and that's a really long time. Mostly gold, the boom towns lasted 2 or 3 years and then turned into ghost towns. During that 20 years, at one point, we were the richest town in the United States. The silver that they found was the most huge core of silver ever found to date. And it caused President Lincoln to swoop in and make this the state of Nevada. And then he funneled the money to the Union Army, winning the Civil War. And I guess the Southerners were vampires or something. No, I was kidding. Laugh of Southerners. So. But anyway, the significance of our whiskey cellar here, so there was a couple times in history when they had to take the whiskey and the wine out. And at one point, the record was 77 coffins were stacked in here when there was an overflow of bodies that the mortuary couldn't take care of. Then later on, there was in the Great Depression, the mortuary left, and we became the wintertime temporary morgue. So. All right, and if you come in here, you want to take pictures. We have these people here spending the night. They're very brave.
Awesome.
And I'll tell you more about that in case you ever want to do it. There is security cameras throughout, and there's one right there. And usually I tell people right here, it says, if you turn the light off, turn it back on. So you guys do whatever you want, but turn it on in the morning because we like to have this light on when we come in. You can see the security camera up there, and so that's not an orb. You see that red dot up there. And this is also a EVP hotspot. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Electronic voice phenomena. Now there was a time that when I first started working here, I wasn't a paranormal investigator, but I am now. And I want to find out the best gear. Like if you guys get good gear, I'm going to come visit you.
Oh, we do.
All right.
We're part of our own group.
Yay! Well, I didn't know what a spirit box was, and I was watching anything to do with the Washoe Club and paranormal. And there's this show called Paranormal Prophecies, and this guy was up in room 12 where we have the door slammed and people get scratched a lot. He was freaking out because things were falling out of his pocket, and he said, his spirit box goes, just cool it, Tyler. And he freaked out because he heard his name. And I thought, cool it? I thought all the ghosts here from the 1800s, So I started calling that the hippie ghost room instead of the scary, scratchy door slamming room, And about a month later, there were some trauma nurses from San Diego, and they had a really good spirit box. I wanted to know how much they cost, how do they work, because there's a lot of bogus paranormal poser stuff on the market. So I walked in, and the thing's going, I was like, oh, get to see one in real life, And their electromagnetic needles went up, ding, ding, and they go, who are you? I go, well, I work here. And the nurse goes, do you know her? And the thing went, yes, Betty. And I went, oh my God! That's the annoying part of my story. And I went, are you the hippie ghost? He went, yeah. He sounds like Chong. Oh my goodness. And I said, when did you die? And he said, 60s, heroin. And it was very across, very class A or whatever they call it when you get a good voice. And I went, and I screamed, oh my God! And I said, what is your name? And he said, Tom. And then they said, how many spirits are here? And then the lady's voice said, lots. And it went on and on. But also then later on, the other tour guide and I, Carl, went up because I'm all excited because Tom said my name. And people have seen someone with a black shirt, black pants, and short black hair, and that's the beatnik era look. And I said, Tom, it's Betty. We got, yeah, woman. We have a little spirit. And it said, and I said, when you died of heroin, was that on accident or on purpose? And he went, accident. And Carl said, why haven't you crossed over? And he said, it's complicated.
Whoa.
So that's kind of my holy grail, and it happened right here. I'm not a psychic medium, but I'm a comedian. Do you know why did the ghost cross the road?
Why?
To cross over to the other side. All right, let's go upstairs, you guys. Any questions or anything, let me know. You gotta blurt out. I'm part Cajun and I don't stop talking. All right, then. So we just got the stagecoach.
Oh, yeah.
Rhea thought she saw somebody standing by. She thought it was Carl. There was nobody there.
You said the new owners are bringing a lot of water and
Yeah. Have you brought that coffin? And that's one thing I learned. I used to call those cowboy coffins because they're skinny like this. But a casket is shaped like a rectangle and a coffin is shaped like that. Something I learned. There's a lot of trivia on my tour. Now, this is the spiral staircase that was built by Francois Rocher. There's no nails in it, there's no pole holding it up. That's why it's on Ripley's Believe It or Not. And he built it for free, and then he took off. And then he also built one in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And there are some, the nuns there. Have you been to it? Yeah. He thought he was an angel from Jesus because there was, he did it for free, it took off. I suspect he was a Mason. There's a couple of nails now, but the thing is it's so delicate that we have it capped off at the top. And this is where you might, more than likely, will catch the blue lady, who we don't know really who she is. But, you know, we call her Lena. But one of the things I can tell you that can be a false positive is if you look at this window leaning forward, it has a bluish tint to it, and a lot of people think that's her. But it's not. And here, and when you guys come down, you want to turn this light off and do stuff, and it's right there. Turn this is a very loud.
Yeah.
So go like, this isn't part of the tour. Oh yeah, funny looking. That thing makes a lot of noise, so turn off. We'll turn the TV off for you guys and everything, so you don't get false EVPs. Now, why is the blue lady always on the staircase? She's working on her ghoulish figure. I gotta keep moving to the scratch. Okay. This is from the Masonic Lodge, so right down. And there used to be two of these. They were from France, and two of the diamond dust mirrors. Here's a picture of it when it first came over. We brought it from France all the way around to Cape Horn, South Cape Horn, and then it docked in San Francisco, and then they brought it on Stagecoach. And that mirror is so heavy. Here it is, it's gas powered. See how the cups are upside down? Here? There used to be two, but when this happened, we lost one of each. This is a water engineering disaster I'll tell you about when we're upstairs.
You still have 2 of those mirrors there?
Yeah, 2 diamond dust mirrors and 2 of these beautiful chandeliers, but when the soft wall fell, we lost one of each, and then they brought them downstairs. They used to be upstairs. And also up there, there's 28 bullet holes for the bartender, so you better be nice to her.
You're crazy ass bitch.
Here's a picture of Mr. Douglas who built the building. It used to be called the Douglas Building when it was built. And he's burning a $1 bill or $100 bill. We don't know.
Interesting.
All right, we're going up this way. We're going to go the way the miners went. All right, we're going to start off over here. Welcome to the Washoe Club, the Millionaires Club. Okay, this shadow freaked me out. Most of the time it's the other humans that'll scare you around here. Unlike the cowardly line sometimes. Somebody pulled my tail. This room right here was the meet and greet room, where they get the non-members to become members. Whew, excuse me, low altitude, high altitude. Anyway, this is a meet and greet room, and back in the 1800s, if you wanted to be in the Millionaires Club, it cost $800 a year. Now, if you want to be a member, it's only $20 a year. But all the fancy stuff's gone. The perks for being a member is you get to do an overnight, and it helps with the restoration fund. And also, what most people join for is because we have parties once a month, and you can drink for free for 2 hours. That's 24 hours of drinking for $20, but it's spread out over a year, okay? This wallpaper is actually from 1910, long after the Millionaires were gone. It got turned, this whole floor got turned into a boarding house. So we'll go a little bit farther. I'll show you. We got 9,000 square feet to cover. Now, if you look right here, this is the imprint of the original 1862 wallpaper that seeped into this plaster, which actually has horsehair in it. Used to mix horsehair into it. Sometimes you can see it hanging there some places. And here's everybody changing their mind with the wallpaper up until 1984 when the building upstairs was condemned. It could fall through the floors at that time. This was a big party house in the last couple. Actually, the hoax is always has been. But if you go back in time, the deaths within these walls have been drug overdoses, alcohol poisoning, suicides, murders, natural cause deaths, and injury deaths, all within these walls. There's big tuberculosis, there's a lot of children's spirits up here. It's pretty interesting. All right. Come with me if you want to do. We asked the overnighters not to go in here because he's starting to bring his antiques up here and there's a lot of breakables. So feel free to film, just don't go in there and mess with the stuff he asked. Welcome to the Shadow Man's domain. One of the ghost shows, one time they got an extra shadow. I'll have to admit, one time I was going like this, I'm like, there's the Shadow Man, but it was my own elbows making that. You'll smell cherry flavored cigars, and it's a big brim hat man. People have gotten EVPs. He has kind of a Rick Butler voice, kind of a very southern, deep voice. And he's been seen on more than one occasion. He's just a shadow with a big brim hat. Maybe he's a time traveler. But let me tell you what this room was about. In the 1920s, long after the Millionaires were gone, this became one of mankind's best inventions. Was installed in here. This was indoor plumbing. So this was where everybody from all the floors would come here and take a bath or use a bathroom. Before that, they had chamber pots and a little outhouse out back. And I just recently met the lady. She goes, my grandfather used to empty the chamber pots at the Washoe Club. But after that, the plumbing got pulled from here, and then everybody had modern plumbing in all the bathrooms and all their apartments. I meant. All right. There's some little pretty floorboard on here too, right down there. Make sure I shine my light. But
With
it's
the
from the
stars.
1920s, linoleum. Oh. See the stars on it? Alrighty then. Follow me this way. For my overnighters, you might get an EVP underneath there. I call it the Harry Potter room. You know, these put Harry Potter in bubbles. This is, I got a very clear EVP once when I said, how old are you? And I got 7. And that would be a perfect place for a kid to hide and play. What do you think this is?
Staircase.
That's right. It's the top of the spiral staircase. Now, if the Millionaires, if their boots were dirty, they had to walk through all the riffraff in the saloon, come up the spiral staircase, and go to the heart of the Millionaires Club. If their boots were clean, they would come in from B Street, which most of them, because they'd go up onto a $10,000 rug that was handmade from England. So this is the dirty boot entrance, and then the clean boot entrance was from B Street, Millionaires Row, and I'll show you that in a minute. I'll tell you more. Okay, that's not part of the office.
No, that's cool.
Okay. And we need to have it locked right now. It's okay. You're going to be up here in a minute, aren't you?
We thought about doing that.
Soon.
Yeah.
If you want to do an overnight, it's $400. Up to 8 people can split that. Okay, so this was office buildings, then later on apartments. Come over here. Peek down. See? You can be there where you are. One at a time to peek over to our whiskey cellar / crypt. The cameras were put up because of the overnighters. We don't want anybody suing us if they fall down the stairs. And we're going to say, well, you were drinking. And also, we're thinking about putting them online so people could watch for spirits.
Oh yeah.
We don't have the time yet.
Yeah.
All right.
Like video.
Yeah. Everybody always asks me, do you get ghosts on that? And I ask the boss, he's the one that watches them. He goes, I'm
Oh,
going
that's
to
the downstairs, sir. Yeah.
Let me show you how on Ghost Adventures, when they came here in 2004, we captured a full body apparition. Are you familiar with that one scene? Excellent. At the beginning of the show, I thought, wow, there was a news here. One day, I was walking by and the sun hit it just right, and at the beginning of the show, they go, at the Washoe Club, There's many suicides. There's a step up right here. Okay, so they walk up the spiral staircase.
News for a little tiny man.
Get dirty boots. So you're not paid back then. The last one gets goosed by a ghost, you know. So do you know why the ghost went to the bar?
Why?
For the booze. I'm pretty sure they walk around behind me going, boo, get some new material. Alright, so the dirty boots will go this way. And this room, we just recently caught a full body apparition. This is the room where their boots would get cleaned, or they didn't have them slippers before they stepped out on that $10,000 rug. Their hats, weapons, and coats were stored in here. We just exposed this. There was a fake paneling on here. So that was wallpaper from a long time ago. And this was a little kitchenette where there were no ladies allowed out in the heart of the Millionaires Club, which I'm getting ready to take you to. So a lady in here could pass the food and drink over to the gentleman. So there's no ladies allowed. Let me show you what happened. So a lady was standing, this is one of my favorite pictures. Oh, there's me dancing on the bar of holiday. Watch out. So, a lady's standing right here. She takes a selfie, and she gets photobombed by a ghost standing right there. Are you ready to see it? Whoa, 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 no! What's going on? Alright, come on in. It's darker in here, you can see it. It's not. So here's her selfie. She takes up most of the frame. There was no one standing behind her. Most of the crowd had moved that way. She started crying because when she zoomed in to see, did I get an orb or something? This is who was standing behind her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I can text this to you guys if you want me to. If you look, she's got on a high lace collar, a green dress, she has red hair and something shiny in her hand. And she was not on the tour. Sometimes this causes people to go, I'm out of here. We have little kids leaving, we show them this picture. But they didn't have oil of Olay back then. Alright, so let's go into the heart of the ballroom. So now that your boots are clean, you can step onto the expensive rug. Okay, well, the ballroom's downstairs, was right here. And underneath these floorboards right here, where we found those whiskey bottles.
Maybe you might catch the old lady.
Here's some gal pick from 2004. It says lots of activity. They got EVPs in here of like a cacophony, it's easy for me to say. Cacophony? I can say that word. Of card playing. So we just brought this up here. Now, if their boots were clean, this was the clean boot entrance. They'd come through here. Most of them lived uphill, so they preferred this. Come right into the card playing room. And over here is another stairway. It just blocked off the light of the sky room. This used to be an open alleyway. And peek through here, there's another stairway. That was the discreet stairway. I said they didn't bring ladies up, but they did bring up courtesans. Do you know what a courtesan is? It's a high-class hoe.
This is new.
This is new, yes.
Very new.
Mm-hmm. And we had chairs there. Feel free to, we had checkers, but we took them. We're afraid someone's going to take one thinking they're going to get something from the Washoe, even though it probably came to Santa Rosa. And people were a lot shorter back then. So they could close these doors and have private card games. Truck business. There was.
So, just before we get into this room, 2 years ago when we came up here, when we were doing our investigation, because we were supposed to come up here and do the investigation. I'm up here with the video camera, just shooting everything. And we go into this room, I stop on one spot that's marked in that room.
And what happened?
That was where they marked it off on Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
Knew nothing about it because I don't watch that show. I don't watch.
Yeah.
Yes, my wife does, but it's like, I
You
don't
used
care
to
about
put me to sleep.
it. Yeah.
That's how I started working here, and I've been researching it more.
And ironically, I'm looking around, doing all this, and then I stop, and my foot is on one spot in there.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of ironic.
That's what?
It's ironic that happened.
Yeah. Well, my very first time up here, I was on the tour with Carl, and I was standing in there and my bangs got moved like that. And I'm filming with my little phone and I go, is there a breeze in here? He goes, no ma'am. And then all of a sudden, I could almost feel 2 fingers go like, my hair moved again. And I thought to myself, I'm not walking, creating a breeze. And it happened the 3rd time. By that time, Carl was off in the other room and I can't stand to watch the film because I sound like Peter Griffin from Family Guy. I'm like, because I was like freaked out. And then I was so excited about that I started hanging out and then he hired me. So let's go into the ballroom. All right, here's the ballroom. It actually was the ballroom when the Millionaires were here. This thing over here where Nick got up. Come on over here.
Let's mark the spot.
You guys see that?
For a static night vision camera.
Huh? That was where they brought the doors. Actually, it wasn't like a secret stereo, it was just a discreet one.
And they blacked it out.
Yeah, it used to be in the alleyway open, and there used to be a skyscraper at the top, and my friend lived over there, they were coming down, just about a month ago, but there was glass up there, and they just put the lid over it because the glass was leaking. Alright, if you look right here, here's the outtake, and I want you guys to step on this and stuff. It says apparition clock. So, the camera was on a tripod, pointing that way. And unbeknownst to me, what just meant, he got up to his buddies who were on the 3rd floor, and he was like this, and right behind him, Disneyland goes, followed him. So, for full 7 seconds. What I like to do is when I get you guys be 3 over here, I'll take a picture of you standing there. If you want, you can get one of these numbers, like this goes. Yeah. That's it?
That's the spot I slept on. I didn't know nothing about it.
Oh,
Just walking around here, right here.
here you go. I'm not sure that I'll take a look. Alright, that's the famous thing right there. Alright, I'm getting close to you. Now, on count 3, say whiskey. 1, 2, 3.
Whiskey.
Well, now I want you to like this little ghost between you. You guys want to? One on each side, maybe? Well done. Alright, there you go. One on that side, that's up highway. Okay, there you go. 11, 6. Very cool. That's right. I live really close to that ballroom. Alright, so what happened? Those 2 chandeliers were here. The 2 diamond dust mirrors were there. This was actually a pool table, and this was a library. Throughout time, it was used for all kinds of things, but when it was Millionaires Club, well, they left at the end of the 1880s. Right at the turn of the century, in 1898, there was still a bathhouse uphill, 2 doors away. They built this place on dirt. They didn't put a foundation down. And the bathhouse leaked water underneath the building for the longest time. And it also totally saturated this brick wall. And when there was snow on the roof one day, it just came tumbling down. We lost one of the chandeliers and one of the diamond dust mirrors. And then the building did this in the front and this in the back. And now let me come show you that room. I call it the funhouse room. I hear myself laughing. Tall people on this side, short people on this side. I'm just kidding. I did that with I had 15 special needs adults once. Now, as you can see, this is the most leany of the rooms. And what they did was they couldn't afford to fix the building because the millionaires left. So what they ingeniously did, just so they could open up the windows easy, they carved out the corners of the windowsills and they put wedges at the top of the windows to keep the wind from coming in. All right, you guys ready to go upstairs?
Yes.
Open those. Yeah, there's something new up here. Now the photograph of the little girl was up there. Okay. Now, overnighters,
Yep.
if you open this, it won't close right, so don't worry about opening it. There's nothing in there. No, just kidding. It's like, you can open this one if you want. Anyway, excuse me. Welcome to the kitchen. When the miners rented the front rooms, which you'll see in a minute, they're all alike. They were the upscale miners. They were from Wales. They got paid $4 a day. At the same time, the Asians were getting 25 cents a day. That was the highest paid in the world at the time. Now, also for my overnighters, when you're up here at night and the wind blows and these things are like that, you're gonna freak out. Anyway, this was the kitchen where they could come and have. See what I mean? It's freaky here, but it's windy. Anyway, this was the kitchen where they could come and have 3 meals a day. Later on, this nice big room was turned into a nice big apartment after the big era was gone. And the man that lived here, unfortunately, had a son who fell in a mine shaft and died, a 7-year-old, and his 12-year-old buddy. And that gentleman lost his will to live, and he killed himself here with a gun to the head. So he was taken. That was in the early 80s. There's been a lot of activity up here. Usually suicide spots have that. But it was because people were taunting him and stuff. So please be nice.
Always
Once
are.
We found out, yeah. I always treat him like it was my uncle or something. Now let me show you the little girl Ellie Dean was photographed. This is very much a hot spot in this hallway right here. If you notice, I peer into it before I walk in. Our ghosts usually appear right before somebody screams. That's more of my comedy. I'm not a psychic medium. Now that little hallway there, we don't know what it was used for. I'm thinking maybe Puerto Rican cannons. Now on the other side of this wall was the building next door. General von Bachmann had all his nitroglycerin, his gunpowder, and dynamite over there, and he also had a pet monkey. It made national news. This building over here blew up. So if you go out behind the building, you can see how there's a jagged pattern of old brick and the new brick on the top. The whole top of this building next door blew off, came over, and it, of course, destroyed this floor too, and it killed a dozen people. They never found hide nor hair of that monkey. But we did find, he probably joined the circus right after, but they did find Mr. von Bachman's torso and his pocket watch on C Street in the debris. Kind of sad. And the little girl was killed too, little Ellie, and her dog. And we get a photograph of her a lot standing right here. This is where I see more cameras malfunction in this hallway. So for tonight, this is a hot spot. Yeah. All right, let's go a little farther. I can hear him talking to us. She says,
Maybe you'll have Ellie on your camera.
now, this was always open. And if you look down and watch the people walk up the spiral staircase, there's these huge iron shutters. You notice it was downstairs too. They could open and close these shutters in case of inclement weather. This was a glass roof that they could crank open like a shutter, like a sunroof. And the bad air could vent out and the sunlight could come in. That's why it's kind of dark in the middle of the building. But this was always an open air shaft. And one of these shutters jettisoned across the street and decapitated a guy during that huge explosion. There's still 2 of the shutters on the back of the building. It's one that they didn't get to take for World War II because they're huge iron shutters. And here is the water tank from the 1920s. And we're not earthquake ready, so let's keep moving along. Because it's heavy. All right, come on.
Did it happen? And say, did your camera Did your camera?
Oh, I didn't get him.
And say, did your camera malfunction?
All right, and Ghost Ventures, they were sitting right here. The 2 guys were sitting here going, I'm hot, I'm cold. But come on in here. This is one of my favorite rooms.
It's that, no problem.
She rocked me, so it's not. Let me step on these boards. She did rock one on Carl's floor. Now, if you stand right there and look this way, look at the floor, what is this room shaped like? It's called the music room.
Piano.
Grand piano. And there are square-headed nails in here that show that the antique hand forged nails. I don't know why, but first couple times I came up here was at night. Back there I feel kind of and up here I feel happier, and that wasn't because there's more daylight, you know. Now I was on an overnight here one time. We played music in here, and we played different genres of music, and we had all kinds of gizmos and gadgets that would detect, you know, the radar app. And anyway, we started playing rock, country, jazz, rap, different mojo, and all of a sudden, and then we played 1870s music, and the static electricity went off the chart in here. All the radar apps started filling up. Our hair started going up. We got cold chills all the way to our bones. It was 2 o'clock in the morning on a hot summer night, and it was when we played "Beautiful Dreamer," la 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 la. That was the most. So if you guys have any way to play music up here, this is a good room to do it in, and the ballroom. So, and then when the music ended up, the static electricity went out of the room. All right, I'm going to show you what the cowboy dance is on the scene. Oh, here's the new antiques.
There was a clacking coming from down that way.
Almost done. I'll wait for everybody to come in. Come on, we're going to count my ball time for like 5 minutes. Now, this will be the live rent, or the other one, because you've got the 100-mile view. You can hear the church bells like they're in the room with you. Come over here, you can see the cemetery. And over there you can see where Julius E. Bulett was buried. They would bury the prostitutes and the thieves over on that hill. I call it Ho Hill. And what do you think happened to the ceiling in here? Would you believe our polar bear comes alive at night, like the night at the museum, and he does the Macarena?
Yeah.
And then the other day they told me that a cowboy ghost dances on the ceiling and those are his spur marks. The truth is, the man that lived here in the 1980s used to come in here. He lived in here when it used to be $50 a month. You got one room.
Wow.
And someone else had that room. Now it has it where, and back in the 1800s, you got 2 rooms for $1.35 a day, including your 3 meals. Anyway, the man that lived here in the 1980s was the bullwhip master, and the parade he used to practice his bullwhip in here. All right, keep moving. We're turning into Cinderella at 6 o'clock. All right, my overnighters, please don't sit on this because it's styrofoam and it'll just break. Okay, a lot of people think it's a real bed and they try sitting on it, and that's why we have the ropes down. If you want to take the ropes, any of our ropes, you can take them down, you know, for pictures and stuff. Just put them back up in the morning. All right, so not a real bed. All new antiques up here. New us. Also, a lot of people have seen spirits doing this. They think it's someone standing up here looking down, and then there's nobody up here. All right, let's go this way. You guys, like I said, feel free to take any ropes down. Almost done. Now see how that's antique glass and that's modern glass. The way they used to make antique glass was they poured the leaded glass onto a bed of mercury, and when it would cool off, they'd pick it up and wipe the mercury off. And there's your state-of-the-art window. And here shows you how when those bricks all fell on the south wall, like I was telling you about, they just picked up the broken pieces. They took some of them and built the second Masonic lodge, but they just put it back together the best way they could because the Millionaires were gone when this happened. It was like the world's biggest Tetris game. All right, you guys ready to go to room 12? The notorious room 12. Yeah, it's actually just all over the place once you get an iPhone. You can see. This is roof access. That's a padlock, so we don't do what Mark Twain used to do. All right, coming in. He used to, sometimes I don't listen to myself much, so I'm not good at it. He used to get drunk and bound across the roofs and right about it. But he didn't go out that door because that's a modern door. Now this is the room 12. That the door has been slammed on so many occasions that it has a crack down here. On my tour once, it did close slowly and it creaked the whole time. And if you go like this, look at this, it's not creaking. And the building does lean this way. Oh, that was funny. But it used to just creak a little bit, but it was the loudest creak. I had 15 people on the tour and it closed very slowly for me. This is where, I believe this is where the guy was, where it said, "Just cool it, Tyler." So this could be where the heroin, I don't know if it happened here or the room next to us. There was a suicide in here at one point, and there was a drunk couple who used to notoriously fight, so we don't know who slams the door. But we've also had over a dozen people scratched, and it primarily happens in here. It's a burning sensation. You lift up, and there's whelps, and it's a 3-pronger. So.
What's with the paint?
It was red, and they were painting it brown when the building was condemned, and they said, well, okay, we're out of here. All right, you guys. And speaking of we're out of here, we are. Just show you one more thing. You stand right here and look both ways. Come over here by me. You can see that the back of the building goes this way, and the front of the building goes that way.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then if you go across the street and look back at the Washoe, the front goes like this. So it's just a big old pretzel. Yeah. All right, we're ready to go downstairs. It's nice to get the register in case you want to.
So they cut one of the wedges for the windows out of this. Just use whatever's available at the time.
Where are you?
This way.
She's heading down.
Now, if you enjoyed your tour, my name is Betty from Yuma. If not, I'm Abigail from Abilene. And our spirits love chips, and I hold on to them for them.